The weather.
So we've got rain coming here in what, 45 minutes?
Yeah, it should be really any minute now. I'd say over the next hour or so
Okay.
is probably when that activity will begin to pick up. We saw about an hour ago some of those showers moving south from Orange County, LA County, and it's going to be the light scattered stuff before things intensify into the afternoon. Afternoon stretch is probably going to be the most intense for us between about noon and 5 p.m. or so.
So when everyone's leaving for heading home from work,
Of course,
isn't
the
that,
evening commute.
I feel like that's always how it works.
It is, although I will say this morning when I started the forecast, I was talking about like when you drop the kids off at school, blah, blah, blah. And everyone was like, there's no school today. So yeah, that's a plus side is that, you're not dropping the kids off at school. There's no recess, lunchtime. But I would say in lieu of that, a lot of people do plan to make it a busy day. If the kids are home from school, hey, let's go to the park. Let's go to the museum. If you're doing that and making plans, feel free. We're not encouraging you not to leave the house, but we are encouraging you to plan accordingly for some pretty moderate to heavy rain in the afternoon.
And I think that's one of the things that you kind of always stress with your forecasts is like you're never going to be the person who says cancel your plans.
No, not in San Diego. At least.
Because especially because some of the viewers do not like to hear that their plans should be canceled. But in terms of the numbers that we're seeing when it comes to just how much rain that we're talking about, is this something where we're going to see some pretty saturated elements even beyond? I know that we get a bit of a break here tomorrow.
Yeah, we got the rain.
This is going to be a pretty wet week, right?
It's just, I always say I love the word unsettled because it's like, okay, we will have periods of rain, some more intense than others. This afternoon, for example. Tomorrow during the day, we'll probably get another lull in activity, but ahead of sunrise tomorrow, we'll get a little bit more. And then Wednesday and Thursday, you got another round of wet weather on the way. So if you look at that rain chance graphic there, you've got that chance jumping up again after today into Wednesday and Thursday, about 50, 60% on there. And then starting to dwindle more significantly as we get into the end of the week and the weekend. So for example, those chances start to drop down to the single digits. I will log in to my computer here because I don't think the remote is able to stretch all the way.
Okay.
But I can log in and get those graphics advanced as the day continues.
So why don't you go ahead and do that, and then Evan, I'll just sort of just ask you here while you're logged in.
Yeah, for sure. Quick comment, really quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I feel like it's so like uncommon to see rain chances at 100%. You know, it's like that.
Right.
That's always like a goal. Like if you weren't ready for rain, like it is coming. That's just so funny to see.
It's going to rain.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's kind of the emphasis is like it's surefire at this point that today is going to be a wet one. And I'd say in terms of the next 7 to 10 days, today is probably going to be the most intense of all of those days. So while the days ahead do still have a chance of rain, I would say if I were, hedging my bets on what day would have the heaviest rain, it would be today.
I always love to sort of get what I feel like is my perspective and then kind of bounce that off of yours, Evan. This winter weather season, I know that our rain numbers are doing pretty good in terms of how much water we've been collecting, but it seems like this year in particular, we haven't had those like elongated stretches of rain events, more so like these very sudden, heavy events.
Yeah.
Is that accurate to say?
Oh, totally. Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, we were saturated from the first week of January. That like January 1st through 5th stretch gave us pretty much all the water that we needed. In 5 days there, we got more than what we would normally expect in about 2 months.
Yeah.
And then since January 5th, it's been dry. Next to nothing.
Yeah.
So I was able to get that moving. If we want to pull up those graphics again, I can show you what we're talking about. But this will probably follow in a similar pattern where toward that first week of January, we saw 5 consecutive days of rain. There's a chance that we see 5 consecutive days of rain again today, or this week, I should say. But we'll see if that comes to fruition. So here's the coastal forecast over the next 12 hours. You can see how right now, outside, there's like next to nothing.
If there's any chance you want to go out.
Yeah, exactly.
Do it right now.
Let the dogs out, get the bathroom break in for the dogs right now because by the afternoon, they're going to give you those eyes of like, I don't want to go out in that rain. So as we get toward the afternoon, 1 p.m., notice that chance, that's when it jumps to about 100%. That's the more moderate to heavy bands that will arrive. And then that chance for rain starts to drop down more significantly by the evening. Might even get a little bit of sun peeking through by about sunset time. One thing we're also going to be watching for in addition addition to the rain and even some mountain snow, is wind. So wind gusts are going to be climbing all the way up to 40 plus miles per hour, even by the coast. Inland valleys will be around that range as well, and sustained speeds right around 20 to 30 miles per hour.
Oh,
so
wow.
40.
we've got a wind advisory in effect for the day today that expires at 8 p.m. tonight.
Whoa. Okay, so that's why I saw the gale warning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And it looks like this is going to be one where that wind advisory expires tonight, and then another one gets issued for tomorrow, separate one, because we'll see those winds die down overnight, but then pick up again. So
Right.
usually in the lull, we'll get a break from the wind advisory, get a new one issued. This is the rain. This is top right corner of the screen there, 11:30 a.m. going into 12 noon. But watch what happens after that. That's when we start to see all that arrive. The yellow, orange, and red indicating more intense rain. And where we see orange and red, there's also that possibility of some thunderstorms as well. So that could bring those kind of sudden downpours of rain. So that's going to be the most intense window, about noon to 5 p.m. And then after that, 6 p.m., evening commute is starting to let up a little bit. I mean, here in San Diego, you can sometimes get that southbound traffic on the 805 and 5 as early as 2:30 p.m.
Yeah.
Again, today will probably be less intense because of no school for many of the kids, but a lot of people are still heading to work nonetheless. So that's going to be the case through 6 p.m. And then if we run this through the overnight stretch, there's another wave that comes through that's early tomorrow morning, like 1, 2, 3 a.m. tomorrow. The plus side is that by the time tomorrow starts really going, 8 a.m., we're almost dry out there. We'll stay dry for the most part, just have a few scattered showers all the way through the evening stretch. And then we'll watch for another wave of rain coming in late Tuesday overnight from Tuesday into Wednesday. So that's going to be that.
And you
next
explained,
push.
so you explained the, obviously green is lighter, red is more severe. If I understand it correctly, that blue and that pink, that's snow.
That's some snow.
Yeah, you were talking about that on Friday. I was
Our
excited about that.
highest elevations could be getting some snow. So Palomar Mountain, Cuyamaca Peak, Mount Laguna. Usually those are kind of our prime spots to see it, our highest elevations. Julian, I wouldn't be too sure of Julian getting anything.
Slushy.
Yeah, that rain-snow mixture.
Yeah.
Sometimes it comes in the form of snow, melts immediately when it hits the ground. We'll see it as a possibility overnight mainly. So a lot of these waves, like we mentioned, one wave tonight and 2 early tomorrow, another late Tuesday into Wednesday. Overnight temperatures across the mountains are down to the 20s and 30s. So when it gets that cold, we tend to see that as a possibility, that snow. Our snow totals in San Diego are minimal. In fact, I can show you there is, in addition to that wind advisory for us in San Diego, there are other parts of the state that are going to have winter storm warnings in effect, basically indicating that snow is a possibility. So here's the wind advisory that we have in San Diego. It covers the entirety of our county through 8 p.m., but a little bit of a wider picture here shows you all the pink being those winter storm warnings. So off toward the top right there, you can see what that snow is going to look like for us. 5,500 feet, that covers a lot of San Diego County's highest elevations.
Wow.
Maybe 4 to 8 inches, although I will say San Diego is trending a lot warmer. I'd say if we actually expect that much snow in San Diego toward our mountains, we would probably get a winter storm warning added on. But you also see 8 to 14 inches, upwards of 6,000 feet, 2 to 3 feet of snow possible above 7,500 feet. That pretty much rules out all of San Diego County. But again, know a lot of San Diegans love Big Bear and Snow Valley and Mammoth.
The snow report.
Snow report,
There
exactly. So all spots that could see some additional snow, and San Diego is included in that. So always a possibility.
So maybe get your ski plans ready.
We were just talking about 75, 80 degrees in late January, early February.
What a difference,
Yeah.
Like just a week or two makes in San Diego.
That reminds me of Colorado. Colorado was always like that. It would be, you would go to school and you would head to school in a blizzard.
Yeah.
People would get into fender benders the whole entire drive there, and then you'd go outside and you'd have a ski outfit on.
Yeah.
And then it'd be 75 degrees
Start
and all the snow
sweating
melted
in it.
away.
Exactly.
So yeah.
It looks like by the end of the day today, these are our rain estimates. So this is through midnight. Early tomorrow morning, we're expecting about an inch to come down. That's kind of an overall estimate. In fact, I can move this back so it's a little bit more on the nose there, about 10 p.m. or so tonight. And we've got an inch on the ground in Ramona, Poway, Alpine, Escondido. If we push all the way through Tuesday, we've got a fresh, I'd say, additional half inch or so, because these are going to be cumulative numbers. So from that 1 inch marker, we get up to 1.6 inches in Escondido, 1.4 in Poway, Alpine, Fallbrook. And then if we push through Tuesday and Wednesday, the latest this model can run is just through Thursday, so that's midnight, a couple hours past the start of Thursday. But it seems like today through Wednesday, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in total, will bring about 2 inches in Carlsbad, Escondido, Poway, almost 3 inches up at Palomar Mountain. But again, that is going to be contingent on whether or not they end up seeing some snow. So pretty decent totals.
I was just going to say, those are pretty decent numbers here for us, right?
I mean, definitely enough. We've looked around and seen so much green across our mountains and inland valleys. Everyone's been like, well, does that mean that spring is going to be the most incredible spring we've ever seen? Not unless we get more rain like this.
Okay.
We need that steady. Exactly.
Well, we Netta and I spoke about the super bloom, I think last week or the week before, and that was the big question was, okay, well, we already have it now, but we need more rain to keep it going. So this is definitely some sort of relief for those people who maybe had some concerns about
Absolutely. If you get it all in the first week of January and then you just have no more rain for the rest of the winter season, it's going to die and be brown by the time you get to like April.
Yeah.
So I would say the later we can go through the season, now through, I mean, we're in February now. We should ideally get more like this, more wet weather like this in March. April's a bit of a question mark. I mean, April starts to get dry for us and starts to become a lot more spring-like. So we might get a couple, days, maybe single days, or we might get a little spritz. But we need it. We would need that sustained through the start of spring to get those super blooms and to have everything look green. Ideally, that will also alleviate our fire weather concerns, because with everything so green, that does tend to keep those fire crews a little bit calmer. Here's that 7-day. Today and Wednesday are kind of those weather impact alert days, and then temperatures keep cooling through about Thursday. Beyond that, we'll start to see some warmer temperatures. If you're already planning out the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you can see that chance for rain is at its lowest. Saturday and Sunday look to be mostly dry days, so no real wet weather in the forecast in that window. And then we will see, again, Monday and Wednesday kind of as our prime days. Weather impact alerts for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday over the mountains, just because they'll probably get rain or mountain snow. And, you don't really want to mess around with trying to travel over the mountain passes if you don't have to in that window because of the wind, rain, and mountain snow. And then the deserts are going to be mostly in the 60s down to the 50s before those temperatures start to climb more into the weekend.
Well, one of the things, you could take there and kind of love is the fact that it's not going to be super cold, right?
No,
high of 60, 63 here inland, that's not too terrible.
No, it's really not that bad. I would say you can get away with, the sweater, the sweatshirt, ideally, that has a hood on it. And then you're just able to throw it on. I feel like after spending years in the Pacific Northwest, I was like over the umbrellas. I don't bring them out with me. But I do have a jacket with the hood just to be able to kind of, keep it covered. But I know the families like to bring out the umbrellas and everything. If you are going to kind of keep it in the car, today through Thursday at the very least seems to be a fair window to have it with you. But again, I think the plus side is that tomorrow, Tuesday, we get a little break during the daytime.
Well, and it doesn't go into the weekend. That's the best deal you can get.
We have been, this past Saturday was gorgeous out there.
Oh, my goodness.
Absolutely beautiful.
Awesome.
Great weather. Yesterday, just some clouds kind of rolling in. And then now it's perfectly situated for the first 4 days of the work week. Weekend, dry once again, whatever plans you're making.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I love it.
Yeah, do indeed love that. All right, well, Evan, thank you so much for coming
course.
in here on
Thank
this
you.
Weather
Thank you guys for
Impact
having
Alert
me.
Day. We do have a lot more straight ahead here. We are going to be breaking down some of the top news headlines here of the day, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after a quick break.